Hi, and welcome back at L'Essence du Métier. First of all, I would like to thank all of you YouTube followers. I really appreciate that. And second of all, I did have some requests about doing an how-to series video. Well, maybe it's time. And since my new workbench needs a new tool cabinet, why not? So stick around.
I could write it all down, write 100 words for you. I would say it all wrong, like I always seem to do. You got me tongue-tied, baby. No, I'd do it again. Whoa, stuck in the middle of nowhere, with no idea how we got there. We got somebody lead us to somewhere.
Now, before any construction can start, I had to ask myself some question. What do I want? Well, do I want a standing cabinet or a hanging cabinet? Do I want it an open, closed one? Drawers, doors, subtail, hooks, and such. Second, what tool do I want to put in it? And what tool will I buy that will go in it? So I ended up with this design. It's going to be a hanging cabinet. I would have loved to do a standing one, but since I'm sharing this space, it did not make sense right now. It's going to be a closed one with drawers at the bottom for chisel and small tool. And behind the upper doors, the bench plane is going to be stored vertically, the joinery plane in small cubbies, and the handsaw in a small till. Since this layout may change with time, all the stuff is just screwed to the back, the hooks, tails, cleats, and such. And if with time I end up with a lot of screw hole, I designed the cabinet so I can remove the back and pop a new one if necessary. As for material, I did choose hard maple and cherry to match my new bench. For the main case, shelf, divider, door frame, I'm going to go with hard maple, those three boards. As for the cherry accent for the drawer front, I'm going to use this figured cherry. You can almost see the lights bounce off of it. It's really striped. And for the door panel, I'm going to use this nice quarter-tone figured cherry veneer. I'm going to put it in a book match pattern, probably in an upward chevron pattern actually. As for construction, I'm going to use single 9 3/4 inch wide board wrapping all around the case. I can already see some eyebrow rising. What about wood movement? And you'd be right. Usually I would have to rip this board into 2 to 3 inches wide board, alternate growth ring, glue it back together, and you'd be done. But I don't like the aesthetic of this. I much prefer one single or two wide board with continuous grain all around the case. But now I have to deal with wood movement in some other ways. One of the ways is actually wood selection. These three boards, which gonna make the old case, come from one bundle of wood. So the moisture content should be the same and they should behave the same. And since the grain orientation is going to be front to back all the way around the case, it should move as one. The other way is going to be mechanically. All the corners are going to be dovetail. So the boards are going to interlock into each other, keeping them for twisting, cupping, or bowing. And my last line of defense is going to be the inside shell. The very front of it is going to be housed in a dovetail socket, locking the case together, keeping it from bowing outward. And another thing about wood selection is this is 5/4 maple stock. I should end up with a 7/8 inch thick material. So that's going to be really helpful for stability. I've been using this method of construction for some project now. I did make this small walnut just behind me in this manner. This is a 10-inch wide board wrapping all around the case. It's been 3 years now and I haven't moved at all. So I'm going to stick with that. But remember, to start the project, I'm going to cross-cut my board to rough length. Then I'm going to join a face and an edge. Since we're dealing with 10 inches wide board, and most people own a 6 to 8 inches wide jointer, that might be a problem. I'm fortunate enough to have access to a 12-inch jointer, but it's no fun. So we're going to break the number 5 jack plane with a camber blade. It is actually an 8 inches radius, which is really aggressive. We're going to work the board perpendicularly to the grain to remove all the eye spot. By working perpendicularly, I can remove a lot of stuff aggressively and get it done faster. Then we're going to move to the 22 inches number 7 jointer plane. I'm going to start diagonally, then with the grain. We're going to bring it to a fair plane actually. It doesn't need to be pretty, because the final thicknessing is going to be done with a thickness planer. I'm using the thickness planer to have an even board all the way through. It's going to make my life much easier when it comes to joinery. I have this approach that I like to call neo-traditional. I do as much as I can of the work by hand and use the machine to save time and effort, or my bacon actually. So let's get to work.
Voices ringing in my head. Is this the beginning or the end? I just don't know. I just don't know. It's hard to see the road too far ahead when all the spark is gone and hope is dead. Do I go? Where do I go? And if we carry on, my friends, we can make it to the end. I just don't know where to go anymore. Tracing my footsteps through the wind, back to a place where I could begin.
So as you can see, all my boards are prepped, dimensioned, and ready for casework. I was shooting for 9 3/4 width for my board, but ended up with 9 3/8, which is no big deal. I'm just gonna adjust my plan to it, and I do have a lot of space, so I really don't care actually. Sometimes you have to work with what the board's gonna give you. The next step is gonna be dovetailing the corner, but that's a whole other show. So until next time, I hope you appreciate, and thanks a lot.
To the end, I just